Come on, guys.
You guys not going? All right.
Ryan.
How you doing?
So with the running game, obviously it's hard to run a lot when you're trailing as you were Sunday. Would you like to see more of a running game generated, or in your mind, it's whatever it takes to win, even if you have to pass 80% of the downs?
Yeah, we want to move the ball effectively. We want to have balance. Run, pass, screens, RPOs, however best way to move it. We got to obviously be more efficient offensively. Balance is you always want balance. I think it helps in both the run and the pass game when you have that kind of balance, and the defense doesn't know what it's going to be. But I think you need to have variety in your schemes, your concepts, run, pass, play action, drop back, whatever the case may be. So, but at the end of the day, it's about the execution and getting 11 guys on the same page, and that's what we're working towards in practice in our preparation this week. It's a very good opponent we're facing. They play fast, they play physical, they got a good rush. They're well coached. They tackle well. So we got our hands full for sure.
Where's your comfort level, sticking with the backs, on the pass protection that they brought in the first two games?
I think our backs, they do a good job in protection. I think collectively, we need to do a better job as a total team from a protection standpoint. There's a lot of different instances or situations where guys could block a backer, could block an end, could not have anybody get out into the route. So there's a few nuances to that. But I think our guys, they understand what they need to do. I mean, we've had some instances where we've had guys come through the hole and there's been some pressure. We could do a better job of our technique, our fundamentals there. But our guys know what to do, where they need to be, and I think they've done a solid job. But we can always be better.
Coach, sorry, go ahead.
With Will Fuller, how has he looked? This is, in my account, his first full week of practice with you guys since probably OTAs or minicamp. How has he looked, and do you expect him to play a significant role, if any, against the Raiders?
Will's worked hard. We expect him to play. So we'll get out there. Again, we had a practice Wednesday, walked through yesterday. Today we'll practice and kind of put the finishing touches on the game plan. Run a few things offensively, defensively in the kicking game. But yeah, Will's look good this week.
When it comes to Jacoby, how do you feel about the preparation this week? Do you feel like you checked all the marks that you wanted to in order to get ready for the game?
Yeah, we still got, we have to go through today. So, but so far this week, I think, he's done a nice job from a preparation standpoint. He's in here, he's meeting with his teammates, he's, watching the film, asking questions. But we'll see how today goes, and we got to finish off the week well.
Coach, kind of going back to the topic of the run game, you had mentioned earlier this week the explosive rushers they have in Ngakoue and Crosby, getting a lot of production so far this season. What's the best way to kind of try to neutralize those guys? Is it the run game? Is it helping in pass pro with the running backs and chipping? And just how do you get those two guys neutralized so you can be effective offensively?
I mean, they're good players. Good in the run game, good in the pass game. There's a myriad of ways you try to limit their productivity, but they do a nice job. I mean, I think both guys have played in this league. They've seen a lot of different ways that they've been attacked. I mean, but it's about execution. At the end of the day, Travis. I mean, it's about execution. It's about getting in and out of the huddle. Getting 11 guys on the same page, and executing a specific play run, pass, screen, draw, and at the end of the day, it's about execution.
Brian, do you have a pretty good?
Go ahead, Al.
I'm sorry, Brian. Do you have a pretty good idea what the offensive line's going to look like Sunday? And if so, anything you care to share with us?
Yeah, I got a good idea what that's going to look like. I'm not going to share that with you.
You're good at ask.
It's kind of a tricky question of what to do with Reed in terms of, do you use elevations for 2 games to bring him up? Do you put 2 on IR and bring Reed to the 53? Where are you and Chris in that process now? Do you know what you want to do? Is it a tough call?
I mean, obviously, those are all conversations that you have to have with a situation like this. I think we are, I think we're just with Tua. It's day to day, and we want to see how he's doing every day. Is he making improvement? And that kind of, gives us a lot of the information we need to make, those types of decisions. So, he's in today. He's getting a little bit better every day. And we're kind of in this day to day, space, and we got a little bit more time to make a decision, to gather some more information, I would say, but yeah, those conversations are definitely being had.
Brian, as a general philosophy question, what goes into deciding whether to have a walkthrough and when?
I mean, there's, every year it's different, based on the schedule, based on travel, based on your injury situation. It's a little bit different. So it's basically a gut or a feel for what we need, based to include. I would say travel oftentimes becomes a part of that, and then what the next few weeks looks like. So it might be 1 week with a walkthrough, 2 weeks without one. You know what I mean? It's just different. So I can't say for sure, because I think the general overall health of the team plays a role in that. I think every team kind of deals with that. When to, when not to. The benefits to walking through. What you get when you don't walk through, which is obviously the pace and the timing and the the fundamentals and the techniques at a higher speed. So I wish there was a blueprint, but I think every year is different. Every team's different. The travel's different every year. So I think you just gotta take all that into account.
Coach, last season you guys really hit your stride after that trip out west to San Francisco. Is there something to trip together out west where you kind of have a couple of days to kind of galvanize the team? Is there something to that?
No, I think playing well is about execution. I don't think there's. I think that's at the end of the day, that's what it's about. It's about preparation, and preparation, leads to confidence, and confidence leads to execution. So, I think that's my thought on that.
I know in determining allocation of snaps, so much has to do with game plan for that week. How much do you and Josh and your offensive coordinators consider past performance against the team? I know Nick Needham had a very good year last year, struggled like a lot of guys in the Buffalo finale last year. We saw Justin Coleman play a lot last week instead of Nick. Eric Rowe has been a very good player for you. Struggled a little bit against Waller in Week 16, even though everybody has struggled against Waller. So do you look at past performance and allocating snaps, for a particular guy in an upcoming game?
I think every game plan's a little bit different. I think, my approach is always, I look at last year's game, but, their team is different. They didn't have, their O-line's different. Some of the backs are different. Some guys are the same, but, I don't think you look at it and say, it's not a copy and paste of our game plan from last year and just stick it in there. That's not my approach. I kind of look at it as if we kind of look at it as if it's brand new, clean slate. We've got different players. They've got different players. What's the best way to, game plan this offensively, defensively in the kicking game?
I'm sorry.
No,
I'm sorry.
I'm good. Good, Al.
Apologize. Another general philosophy question. What role, if any, does analytics play in decisions, game situation decisions, such as fourth down going for the first down, or punting, field goal, or punting, things like that?
We have I think a very good analytics team. Headed by Harry Freed and Max Mullitz. Those guys do a nice job for us. Yeah, it plays a role. I don't think we're going, strictly off the model or the book. A lot of it is our team, their team, kind of how we want to play, whether or not we want to go for it or not go for it. I think there's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot of conversation that's had about it. We talk about it as a staff, and what we, kind of what we talked about to include the numbers. We try to execute in the game.
Thank you.
That it? All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.